let's dig in.
I like that. Dig in? I don't know.
Dig in, yeah.
Let's eat.
Ramen noodles. Hi guys, today we'll be making a fancy piece of jewelry out of paracord that you can give to a loved one. Before we dive in, let us know how much you love us by hitting the like button, and if you really like our tutorials, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. So for this tutorial, you're going to need paracord in a fancy color. I've got Night Sky here, you can find it on our website, and then some brass hardware. Just these rectangle tri-glide type of pieces, one circle and one of these spacers, and then our lighters and scissors. Let's dive in. Alright, so I've got about 10 feet of my paracord here, and I'm going to begin by just making a cow's hitch on my little brass loop. You can do that. I'll do that again slower. You can do that by just putting it through and then putting the object through the loop. Then you're going to need another knot on here so that it doesn't loosen up on this small of a ring. So I'm going to do a snake knot. To do that, make a loop with one cord around the back, and then this one goes around back as well, and then through this loop. Alright, now we're going into making the actual bracelet. So I'll get all my paracord up on the table here. So to begin, just stack all of your squares on top of each other. I have about 7. I think you'll need about 1 per inch of bracelet, and so 7 to 8 inches wrist, you'll need about 7 or 8 of these. Yeah, and estimate low, because you'll want a little bit of room to make the clasp as well. So to start out with, I'm just going to put the cord through all of them. So then it looks like this. And now for your other center strand, you're going to want to do the opposite of what you did. So what I mean is that I went down through each one of these. With the second cord, I'm going to want to come up through each one on the same side each time. So you have to keep all the twists out of your cord when you're doing these first couple, and keep your squares oriented the same direction, because if they spin around, it'll get pretty jumbled up. The setup is the slow part. It'll definitely go faster after this. Alright, should look something like that when you're done, where it's going through and the other is going through but the opposite direction. So that's probably the most difficult part. And now we're just going to keep on going back and forth. Before we do that, we need to make the other end of our clasp. So take one of your cords and pull it through the spacer down to where you're going to want it. And then we're just going to be tying a simple snake knot again in this. So I'm going to orient it the other way. And because we don't have access to both of our ends, we've got to make our snake knot a little bit of a special way. Alright, so to make this snake knot, twist a loop in, oops, I gotta go this way. Make a loop in your standing end and go down through it with your working end. So you've got a loop like this, and then we're going to go around the back again and down through the hole so that it looks like this again. Once we tighten that down, it should look something like this. You can tie it pretty loosely so far because we're going to adjust the spacing of our bracelet, but let's get a couple more weaves in first. Now that we have our end on there, we're going to just do the same thing as before, but bring this cord back on this side, bring this cord back on this side. Alright, so now we're at the other end. we now have 4 weaves back and forth through our bracelet. You can kind of see how it's turning into a pattern there. Before I move on, I'm going to tighten this down and make sure that I don't have any twists in my line. You can see a couple places where it's twisting quite a bit, and this bracelet will lay flatter if you get all the twists out of the paracord. So we'll do that and then head back the other direction. Alright, so now things are looking a lot more even and uniform. I tightened it down and got all the twists out of there. With this knot, that's probably the trickiest part. You just have to thread the cord through your knot to get it down to the right length. But I think it's a good length, and you can measure it out on whoever it's for if you want, but otherwise it's just kind of meant to be a looser bracelet. So now we're going to head back the other direction, and in the end we're going to end up with about 10 weaves back and forth. Alright, so I have 9 weaves going back and forth. I decided to stop with an odd number so that this would actually end up in the middle. We've got 2 weaves on either side of it, so I'm going to leave it like that. And I like how it looks with a little bit of the metal shining through. So to finish it off, so that my bracelet doesn't come unraveled, I'm just going to thread this through the end. If you have a fid, that's probably a better idea than what I'm doing, but I'm just going to kind of taper the end of my paracord and push it through. Alright, now that I've buried the ends, I'm just going to cut the ends off and melt those down. And there's our bracelet. So then how this clasp works is just like a button. Your post will go through the middle, and then it really shouldn't fall off if there's tension on it or even lateral tension. You have to turn it sideways to get it back through. There you go. Some fancy jewelry made out of paracord. It's that perfect gift for your special someone with Valentine's Day coming up here. If you like this video, hit the like button and comment down below, or subscribe to see more videos like this in the future. And be sure to hit that notification bell so you're reminded of all of our updates. Thanks for watching.